City Mouse and Country Mouse, based on a fable by Aesop. What is it like to live in the city? How is it different from living in the country? Once upon a time, there was a happy little mouse that lived in the country. One summer, she invited her cousin from the city to come and visit her. When her city cousin arrived, she tried to show him how pleasant and relaxing life in the country could be. They sat on the porch and looked at the stars as they listened to the crickets chirping. They nibbled on delicious country food, such as breadcrumbs, cheese bits, nuts, and berries. Are you enjoying country life, dear cousin? The country mouse asked. But the city mouse was not impressed at all with country life. He missed the sounds of taxis and buses. He missed the shops and people walking in the busy streets. In fact, he was quite bored. He replied to his cousin, "You poor thing. Life in the country is much too quiet, and the food is so plain. Dear cousin, come back to the city with me, and I will show you how wonderful life can be. The food in the city is fancy and delicious, unlike any that you have ever tasted." The country mouse wanted to see whether her cousin's life in the city was as grand as he described, so she went back to the city with him. When they arrived, the country mouse was surprised at how noisy the city was. Cars were honking their horns, and there were so many people. She was happy when they went inside a large brick house. The city mouse led the way to the dining room, where the people of the house had already finished eating dinner. There were many wonderful things to eat still sitting on the table. "What a feast!" exclaimed the country mouse. Her eyes grew big and round as she gazed at the chicken, potato salad, rich cheeses, strawberries, jellies, and chocolate cake. The country mouse began to think her cousin was right, and perhaps she should move to the city. But just as the two were about to eat, a huge cat pounced on the table. "Let's go!" cried the city mouse as the two mice scurried into a mouse hole. "That big cat lives here," explained the city mouse to the trembling country mouse. "We will have to hide for a while, but we can go back and eat later after he is gone." But the country mouse shook her head. She said, "As soon as that cat is gone, I'm going home just as fast as I can. You are welcome to all the fancy food you can eat. As for me, I think it is better to eat simple food in peace and safety." And the country mouse went back to her simple life in the country and lived happily and peacefully ever after.